I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and tell us how to meet them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of the DJ Nick stream of
You know
dreams.
what it is.
We just got done talking about our good friend Ronnie James Dio, Radiallahu Anhu. And now we have moved on to another band from the great one. This is Uriah, Heep, Gypsy. Sorry for all the Roma people. That's just the title of the song. I get it. I'm being sincere. We're going to read this. This is from the big homie DJ Nick, guys. Some of you guys are new. See a couple people here. Shout out to all the people on Twitter. If you are observed retweeting this, shout out to DJ Mike Franco. Shout out to Tina doing that on Twitter. Twitter is a platform where we have been able to stream 4 5-hour videos. A secret that you guys don't know is that when something gets blocked on YouTube, you can still watch it in its entirety on the Twitter side or on the Rumble side, full without any of the restrictions or anything like that. So as long as Twitter is going to let us do this, and we're simulcasting, okay? We invested in a program that made it so that we're on Twitter, YouTube, and Rumble simultaneously, okay? So the point is, we want more of the word coming out. So if you have a retweet, send us a screenshot of the retweet. You get put in a bucket, and then at the end of the month, we draw a winner. We did this for the month of April, and Tina Benina won an entirely free review, which is up to $125 in value, okay? So,
everything.
So yeah, get that word out there. And get yourself maybe a free reaction. Who knows? All right. Thank you very much.
Also, you guys, we have a list of the streams that are for the month of May that is up on Patreon. If you're not a patron, it's a public. I don't believe it's locked. I'll double check that later to make sure it's not locked so everybody can access that. And
if you're deciding on Patreon, I hate to do the salesman thing to you guys, but if you're deciding on Patreon, we've been talking about season 3, and we've got movies, we have shows to watch, etc., etc. In order for that to happen, you're going to need a ticket. Everybody that is on Patreon on the day of is going to get grandfathered in.
That's right. At
their rates. Okay. We already have 2 shows on that can give you an idea about this. It's on the Rumble side. We did an entire movie watch along. It's about 3 hours long because we watched the movie and then we did the thingamajiggy. We also watched Elvis on Rumble. So we got 2 movies on Rumble, and there's also a Catfish watch along on Rumble and Twitter, because remember, YouTube blocks all those things, copyright strikes us, all the rest of it. But because we've been streaming on Rumble and Twitter, we've been able to watch that all the way through. So there you go, guys. That's why we're telling you to retweet and re-rumble so that we can get more energy on that side, and so we can watch all these things together uninterrupted. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Also, tomorrow night is a movie night, and you're going to want to get on Rumble for that. So try to get your account set up. It's free. You can jump on there. DJ Mike Franco is hosting tomorrow night, and he's going to do the duel, the director and the DJ, with a song review as well as a movie review. So we'll see that tomorrow night. But we are not in tomorrow night. We are in tonight, and our DJ is DJ Nick, and he's bringing us through the 70s, y'all.
DJ freaking Nick!
Up next is, 150. Up next is Uriah Heep. Gypsy is the name of the
DJ Nick
song.
is younger than me, but he has more understanding of the history of a lot of this stuff. Like,
facts.
It's just crazy to me.
It's not crazy that anyone knows more about music than I do. So I don't have. I'm out.
All right, let's do it.
Wait, let me read this, please.
Oh,
please. Uriah Heep. Introduction, says DJ Nick. Uriah Heep originally formed in 1969 as Spice. Until 1969, they changed their name to Uriah Heep, after the character from the Dickens novel David Copperfield. With the lineup of David Byron on vocals, Mick Box on guitar, Ken Hensley on keyboard, and Mellotron, Paul Newton on bass, and Alex Napier on drums. What? They recorded their debut album, Very
humble,
which released in June of 1970. Gypsy was released as a single in the U.S. in July of 1970 and is proto-metal at its finest.
Again, shout out to all my Roma people. We respect y'all. We love y'all. Real shit. Okay?
100%.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Gypsy, Uriah Heep, let's go.
Oh, you got this covered. This.
I got it.
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa! Very, very symmetrical.
I was only 17. I fell in love with a gypsy queen. She told me, hold on.
Hold on.
Father was the leading man, said you're not welcome on our land. And then as a foe, he told me to go. To a little shack and put a whip across my back, then told her, leave me.
Are you hating, Dad?
I was out for quite a time, came back with her on my mind. Sweet little girl, she means all the world.
Whoa! You hear that? The lights on? It's going ballistic on you, bitches. out, chill out, chill out. Chill out.
You can hear it.
He's building up now.
Yeah.
Get a little bit louder. Rising action there, listener.
I want my gypsy queen. Will she still be torn between her father and lover? One day I will go to him, strong enough to fight and win. The kind of a man that he'll understand.
Yes, sir.
All right, now you're just having fun with it.
Whoa! That boy can sing his ass off.
Yeah, and he was like, you know, that, like
No,
a lot
no,
of
no,
times
no.
when people are playing the guitar, it doesn't sound like they're playing. Like the term play should be like, it's fun, it's, you know, sometimes it
agree.
sounds like a real struggle.
I agree.
But this sounded like fun. It sounded like he was playing with it, especially toward the end. What a song. You know, I think it was Ian said, you know, I'm not sure because you said, you know, shout out to all of our Roma people. And Ian was like, why? I don't understand what's so offensive about that word, as well as he used another word that like dwarfism. Basically, Ian, I think it's probably the same for all those categories. What happens is a name is created and the name is used as like a derogatory term that dehumanizes the people. So instead of focusing on who they are as a person, it focuses on an aspect of who they are or what they look like. And then while that term is being used, people are not being treated like they're made in the image and likeness of God with the honor and respect that they should be as a human being. So the word itself then becomes so offensive because it was used in a way that is opposite of what God is telling us how we should treat each other. So whether it's, you know, the term gypsy, the N-word, the word for dwarfism, like whatever term it is, like it's often that when it's used that way, the people that are in those categories start saying, well, yo, because you're not supposed to be treated like that. And they shouldn't accept to be treated like that either. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it to be politically incorrect or whatever. I don't know the context of that word. The first person that told me was Pony. Mm-hmm. I was like, for real? She's like, yeah. So what do you say? She's like, oh, call them Roma people. I didn't, you know, the Holocaust, I mean, they were targeted during the Holocaust like crazy. But of course, they don't have a very good, I mean, nobody has a good enough propaganda machine. But, yeah, so that's what it is for me. It's just, my folks aren't the only folks that struggle. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I want to honor everybody. And
yeah,
I hate when people like roll their eyes on stuff like, and obviously Ian's not doing that. I'm not from that community, but somebody from that community was like, yo, this is where it's at. And I'm sure like 99%, it's just like with your trans friend, like if you misgender them, but they know you love them, like, they,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like most of them are like that, but I don't want to I don't want to like assume on that either, right? Like, so that's kind of why. Okay, so here's Uriah Heep. I was only 17, fell in love with the Gypsy Queen. She told me, hold on, the father was the leading man, said, you're not welcome on our land. And then as a foe, he told me to go. So this is like the you know, we were talking about the dad at the porch with the shotgun and that whole motif. And, you know, if you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But then, like, you know, as time goes on, there is a situation that happened with well, 2 of my kids. I had to explain to one of my girls, you know what? You're starting to develop. You're a very beautiful girl. Dudes are going to notice you. And I said, sweetheart, we're going to live and die together. So if you want to walk outside and in your whatever, that doesn't give any dude a right to objectify you or whatever. But I'm telling you that Homo sapiens are apex predators on this planet. And among us, men are the apex predator in the entire world. To get really basic, guys, most of us subsist on eating meat. That's how we get most of our protein is meat. Well, that has to do with the fact that we are predators. Okay? Like a brontosaurus who all he did was eat, you know, leaves or whatever, the tree. Like there's a difference between a brontosaurus and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay? We're Tyrannosaurus Rexes. And then among the Homo sapiens, Homo sapien males are the apex predator. Do what you want with that. This can be explained very easily by selection pressures when you're talking about natural selection, right? And the understanding of evolution and how that works. You can clearly see, okay, this set of Homo sapiens is advancing, and they've got more upper body strength. They've got faster twitch muscles, which makes it so that they can run. You see increased lung capacity. These things were not developed or evolved or created so that we could have advantages in a swim meet. Those distinctions were selected by nature or God, however you want to say it. To me, there's no difference. But those features were selected because it is the role that we play in order to progenate our gene pool. And so we know in an untamed planet, you have to have dudes who are strong, fit, and will kill without hesitation. And that works with the wildebeest, or whatever animal in the La Brea tar pits we were dealing with at the time. But it's also true in our relationships. Men, and you know, I have no problem saying this because I'm a redeemed man, but we're predators. There's a lot of debates going on and all the rest of this stuff. Look, man, 98% of the sexual assaults are men doing it to women. We're predators. And so I'm explaining this to my daughter. Not every man out there is going to be a horrible whatever, but every man has that in him, and unless he has men in his life to tell him to curtail those inclinations, you're going to get people who say crazy shit to people, right? She said, okay. I said, yeah, that's just how it is. Doesn't make them right. You can go out any way you want, and if anybody fucks with you, like I said, we're all going to live and die together. We'll let Allah sort it out. I'm never going to, like I said, that's never your responsibility. The Bible never tells you to wear certain clothes so that other people don't sin. There's nowhere in the Bible that all Jesus talked about was, man, watch where your eyes go. So the responsibility of those people is all on them, honey. But the fact of the matter is, you're going out into the world, a lot of these dudes are predators. And look, I'm a Christian. My belief is that unless Jesus has a radical barging into your life and heart as a male, and you're going to find some way to exercise some sort of predatory behavior. That also includes pornography, especially if you watch our channel, because you know that pornified women are mostly are sex trafficked. We talked about the Farley report, where 88% of the women that are in sex work said if they could escape, they would. etc., etc. Only men could come up with an industry where women are systematically bred like cattle. Only men could come up with something that devious and horrible. So, look, man, this whole thing, after I said that thing to my daughter, I then went out and found the kid. And I went to talk to him, and it was Ramadan, and I said, because, the Quran says lower your gaze. I said, you said some really crazy shit to my daughter, bro. And he looked scared, and I was like, I'm not going to touch you, man. I'm not going to put my hands on you, bro. But, you're a Muslim. What are you doing? You shouldn't be like this. Your prophet would have, slapped the shit out of you, whatever. So, like, those are the conversations I have to have with my daughter. But when I was talking to that guy, the Lord was just telling me, like, this guy didn't have a father, man. This guy found out all of his sexuality on a computer and a rap video. He has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't even know what his emotions are in the situation. He wouldn't even know what to do if your daughter did something to him. Like, all this is going through my head as I'm talking to this kid. And there was another confrontation, and I'm not going to get into the particulars, but long story short, your boy went ballistic on somebody, whatever. And later on, this dude walks up to the driveway, and he was like, because I had to go back and apologize because I was wrong, and I had to take my son with me, and I had to apologize in front of all the people I just went after because I was wrong. But after I did that, this kid comes up and he says, and he was in their little crew. He said, "Yeah, man, like, you were wrong." He's like, "But I wish I had a dad that would do that for me." And that's why I'm no longer I'm going to sit on the porch with the shotgun dad. That experience with that kid, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to put away the shotgun here. Mm-hmm. Because these kids have no guidance. They don't have any guidance. And it doesn't matter who's to blame or whatever, but God can do anything, but most likely, the girls are going to end up with dudes that weren't necessarily raised with our, even in Christianity, our understanding of how men and women are supposed to relate is not popular with American evangelicalism. So, like, what are the odds that that I'm going to be able to, or my daughter's going to be able to find somebody who was raised with our mentality? Like, it's very low. And so God's like, well, maybe you can disciple the kid. Right. Why do you have to threaten him? Right. Like, maybe you could put other things in your tool belt instead of just you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that confrontation with that kid, and when he said that, that's the shit that kills you, man. Like, I was watching. There's a big clip, and it was like these shows with like Scared Straight. And then you would take these kids, and they're badass kids. They're breaking windows and shit. Then you get like a Marine drill sergeant. He's like, and so they were doing this to this kid. Yeah, I remember that. And the kid, he starts yelling or whatever, and he goes, you're stole or whatever. And the kid goes, yeah. And so he starts doing the drill sergeant thing. He says, what kind of man does that? And the kid said, well, my father is the one who. He said, well, I'm sure your father doesn't like that now. And the kid says, I don't have a father. And that drill sergeant, he shut the fuck up immediately. And he melted like that, and he just hugged the kid. Oh. And so it's like, I'm looking at this song, like, I get it, man. Nobody's good enough for your daughter, blah, 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 blah. I get it. Whatever. At the same time, it's like, damn. Like, these dudes are being abandoned in this country, man. And that's why you have the whole crazy manosphere bullshit. I don't think most of these kids even understand the insane implications of what Andrew Tate and the rest of these people are saying. Mm-hmm. But what nobody's failing to realize is, why is he so popular?
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe we went a little too far with the toxic masculinity stuff, huh? Maybe we went a little too far with that. And it leaves the door open for extremists like Andrew Tate
That's right.
Who to me is on the very, very extreme end of being a dangerous person, because Alex Jones says shit like the government's trying to make the frogs gay. Alex Jones is not dangerous to me. Andrew Tate is dangerous to me because there is a lot of truth that he's saying, and he understands, unlike Drake, he understands the time period in which we're in. And, like, that makes for a very dangerous person. People don't like Andrew Tate. They say he's an idiot. He's this. Like, okay.
He's also talking about a topic that is going to touch most of our lives. If the frogs are being turned gay by the government, how does that affect all of us on a regular day-to-day? But relationships are something that all of us find ourselves in. And so, when he's talking about how men and women should relate to each other, like, he's forming things that are gonna be the casing around a family. Like, he's setting the gauge for how men and women should relate to each other, and then your kids are gonna watch how the men and women relate to each other, and then they're gonna use those examples in their lives of what's acceptable and what's unacceptable in relationships.
And the other thing too is kids don't really go by what's acceptable; they go by what's celebrated.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I'll tell the kids, like, nah, bro, I don't want you to use your skateboard in the house. Go outside, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's summer, you better take advantage of that shit.
Yeah.
But I said that, and he goes, okay, daddy, but look at this. And he proceeds to take his skateboard and go into that, in the house. So, like, he knows he's going to get in trouble, but he wants that recognition.
Yeah.
He wanted the celebration. He's like, look, I'll take the time out, but I want you to see this accomplishment, Dad.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, man, like, whatever you celebrate, that's what your kid is going to emulate.
Yeah.
Emulation comes from celebration. And that's why we have celebrations, and that's why we give people awards. We're not giving people awards because we like that person. We're really giving the people awards so that everybody around them can say, be like that. Right? So...
I think the other thing too that, like for us, what we're looking for the people that would come into the lives of our kids is also people that are just open, like, because obviously we're going to be twice your age. So it's like, are these kids open to being able to hear? It doesn't mean they have to believe everything that we believe or go along with everything that we go along with, but are they open to hearing and listening and reasoning? Then it's okay if they don't see things the exact same way. People can move, people can grow and people can learn to work together and stuff. But if people believe that their way is the right way and there's no other options and they're not trying to hear older people, but I think that you do put the kids in that situation when you treat them like this kid was treated in this. You react like that, and it still didn't it say that they were still well, he says one day he's going to go to the dad and hopefully have a...
Well, he's going to have to go and beat up the dad. And then once he beats up the dad, then the dad will say, all right, you're fine. And like I said, like, that was my mentality. But I don't think that's the right mentality to have. Because at the end of the day, like, you're their father-in-law. Okay, well, which one of your kids is perfect? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So another man's son, like, I'm gonna shoot him because, my daughter's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And secondly, my daughters, man, come on, bro. They got sin from nature too, you heard? I pray for that man. Whoever, man, listen. I pray for that brother a lot. Lord.
Oh, no.
I can already tell. All right. Well, I like the song. It's very true to life. 9.6. I like the vocalization in the singing as well.
8.9. 8.9.
8.9?
Yeah. This one just didn't hit me like the other one did. What do you want me to tell you?
You're not a father.
You want me to make it?
Yeah, figures.
And it wasn't a relationship song.
Figures.
Like,
it was a relationship song, actually. He was talking about trying to marry the girl.
Yes, I know, but I like relationship songs that I can think about us. This made me think about our kids.
Well, the dude's gonna go in there. He's gonna square up. He's gonna square up with the dad.
Yep. Well, Oh, okay. Jethro Tull is up next. We'll be right back.
We'll see you on the other side of the break. Shout out to Mike Franco. Let's do this shit.